This year, the Wayne-Westland Community School District launched a new initiative with the goal of improving student literacy. The Literacy Corps is made up of dedicated volunteers who work with students to help them develop an appreciation and love for reading. Research shows that linking the community to the classroom positively impacts student achievement. The Literacy Corps program has been a great success this year because of the volunteers who have answered our call. We are so proud and appreciative that parents, grandparents, community members, and business stakeholders have all embraced the Literacy Corps program in an effort to foster a positive learning environment for our students. By bringing community and members into our classrooms, we are maximizing our students' experiences and providing them with additional opportunities to succeed, ultimately exemplifying the credo, "It takes a village to raise a child." We can never have enough volunteers. If you would like to make the difference in the life of a child, I urge you to please consider partnering with us. Your efforts will help students become better learners, and you will be making a difference in the life of a child. On behalf of the Wayne-Westland Community School District, I would like to thank all of our dedicated volunteers. This truly is a wonderful opportunity that has benefited hundreds of students.
The Literacy Corps Volunteer Program is a program that we started this year for the first time that would try to include the community in coming in and working with children, just having children practice reading. We really feel that it takes a village, the way they say, to raise a child, and we want to have children have as many experiences to practice their reading as possible.
Our purpose is mainly to have connections with adults and to have those adults help students understand how important reading is, to enjoy reading and to have it as a lifelong experience, so that it's just not confined in the classroom or in the school building, but it's for them outside of school too.
Once we started in the buildings that we started in and word got out and it was positive, then people started coming to the meetings and saying, how do we get our school involved in this? So it's been a great response, much more than we thought we would get for the very first year. We thought we would start small and then move on, but it's really taken on.
Reading is everything. It is in every subject, it's in everything that you do in life. So first of all, getting an enjoyment of reading, that's paramount, that has to happen. So with the literacy volunteers coming in and it being a fun and special thing, that's help building a love of reading, whereas they might not be getting that at home.
The students are generally chosen by the teacher, and just those kids that either don't have the home support and aren't being read to at home, or just need one positive adult that they can really connect with on a consistent basis and have that one-on-one interaction and talk about literacy and reading.
So the teacher chooses the students that they feel would benefit. Sometimes it's a student that just needs extra practice, and sometimes it's a student that needs a little bit more attention. So the teacher chooses the students that she thinks will benefit, and the teacher provides the books to the child that are the familiar books that they're reading, usually the books that are in their book boxes that they read when they have free time. And that's what the students are reading to the volunteers.
They just need a small boost just to make sure that they, can have a little bit more confidence in reading, because reading impacts every single area of the curriculum. I mean, we read in science, we read in math, we read in social studies. There's no getting around it. Reading is involved in everything that we do. When
volunteers come in, the volunteers look forward to working with students. They're able to help, and it really makes them feel like they're a part of the community. And the students love it, and the teachers love it too, because it benefits everyone.
It's a win-win for our kids, but also it gives the people in the community a chance to come into our schools and see what we're doing and see the good things that are going on in our buildings, see the building itself, and also what's going on in the classrooms.
The teachers seem to really love it. They feel like they're being supported by the community when someone's coming in, and this really is something that's very helpful to them. These students are getting extra attention, they're getting an opportunity to practice, and we all know that you don't get good at something unless you practice it. So we all want them to be the best readers that they can be, and this is really something that's wonderful for everybody involved.
I think that they bring vast differences. Like, we have some volunteers who are from businesses, we have parent volunteers, grandparents that come in, so the children have varying experiences with different types of people.
Everyone that I know that has been involved in a program like this just absolutely loves it. The children love it when they come to school, and they miss them when they're not there if they have to miss someday. They just really enjoy coming in and being a part of the community that way.
Each volunteer works with between 1 and 6 students.
I work with them once a week for 1 hour, and I get 3 children for 10 minutes at a time. And they're picking their books that they're currently reading and that is at their grade level, and reading with me. And they're doing wonderful. And they're very excited about the books they're reading and that they chose and the stories, and now I'm getting involved in their stories, so it's fun.
They come out into the hallway and we sit there and we read a book, and I work with about 3 at a time, and we'll read a book and talk about the book and go through it. Today we're going to be doing like a pamphlet page that we're reading, and then answering questions about that.
I think they need the undivided attention and somebody to read with them.
We have Miss Jennifer reading with us 3 days a week, and our children go out and read a story to her as well as listen to a story from her. They love it. They're very excited. If I were to ask for volunteers, every hand would go up. So they really enjoy the one-on-one time. They love getting to share their talents with Miss Jennifer and just having the other time of hearing a story, hearing good reading from a good reader.
The kids that are involved are really interested in it. They're really into it. They ask, is it my day today? And a lot of the kids that don't get to be involved are like, oh, can I go with them? Can I go with the Literacy Corps volunteers? So that's really nice to see as well.
It's very rewarding. It feels awesome to come in here and to see the smiles and their excitement to be able to have that one-on-one with someone. And they're really excited. I think it's an awesome feeling to help a child read. It's the future. Reading is part of everything from now on for them. So it makes a difference. I think they're confident in their reading.
I had Dr. Williams come into my classroom. She's a professor at Eastern, and her Eastern students work in my classroom once a week. So when she was in our building with her Eastern students, she would come into my room and she would pull out and read with one of my 3rd grade boys.
Well, what's wonderful is it keeps old college professors like myself right there with the students and doing all the things that I'm teaching my EMU students to do. And it's just wonderful. The kids are always happy to have someone else come and read with them and to show off what they know and what they're learning. And the other big benefit I've seen from this is I went to the training, and you see all these community members who are learning the basics of teaching reading to their children. And that spreads throughout the community.
He feels very special because he is the only one that was chosen, and he also thinks it's neat that he got to work with the volunteers in our rooms, their professor.
How we used to teach reading, all of that has changed drastically in the last 10 years. Our emphasis now is more on meaning as well as word recognition. And Taft Galloway has wonderful instruction. The kids are good with word recognition, but they need more time to work on their comprehension skills. And that's what the volunteers are being taught to do. So I think it just increases the literacy of the whole community to have something like the Literacy Corps.
They love it. It's exciting when Mrs. Schofield comes to read with them. I have 2 students that were chosen. They get to choose the books that they want to read that are just right books for them. So they're getting some extra attention, and they're also getting some extra time to sit down and read books at their level with some adult support.
And they're much more confident about sitting there and reading out loud. And I've seen a real big difference with that.
I do notice better reading strategies, and I do also notice more of an excitement towards reading.
The classroom has a book that they're reading as a whole, and I'll go back and reread it with the little girl that I work with and work with her on words that she doesn't know or doesn't understand. We look them up in the dictionary, and we figure out the meanings of the words. Sometimes I'll work with her on her spelling words and her spelling sentences. just working with her on comprehension.
If I don't know a word, she'll like write it down on paper, and after we're done reading like the chapter, we'll go and look it up in the dictionary, and she'll tell me like, we talk about like what it means and stuff. I think it's important that everyone learns to read, because like you read everywhere, like you have to read the instructions. So like if you wanted to put up a ceiling fan, or like if you wanted to like have entertainment, you'd have to read.
I like to sound the words out so I know how to read the book.
By having the Literacy Corps volunteers come in, you know, they've been more willing to volunteer, more willing to read aloud, more willing to, you know, be a participant in an active participant in our classroom, which is very, very nice.
I think they're having a lot of fun doing it. The volunteers, I'm hearing good feedback. I just think to help a child that's in need of some extra support in reading it makes you feel good. I think that's important.
The nice part about it is we'll take any time that they can give us. Some volunteers come once a week and give us a half an hour. Some volunteers come a couple times a week. Some volunteers give a block of time, like 2 hours they commit on a day.
I know we have some volunteers that are giving up multiple hours a week, but we have some that are going on their lunch hour to a local elementary school and just volunteering for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. To give that child that experience of being able to read aloud to someone is just such a great benefit to them, and as you see them progress and get more confident, it just really warms you on the inside.
Just give it a shot. You know, if you, though it might not be your comfort zone, you don't come from education, if you like kids, try it. I mean, the smiles that are on these kids' faces after they get that one-on-one or 2 or 3-on-1 attention is just indescribable and incredibly valuable.
The more grown-ups, the better. That's one of the mottos in my classroom. Because again, going back to it takes a village to raise a child and to teach a child. And you know, we have lots of kids in our classes and lots of kids that could use the extra help. So yes, volunteer, volunteer, volunteer.
And once you go, you're going to love it. I mean, I was hesitant, but once you come, if you have a nice teacher, a good teacher that works with you, they'll love it. And the kids are just adorable. I feel good when I leave. Yeah. And it makes me smile.
I just wanted to say how much we appreciate all the people that have come forward that have been willing to volunteer this year. And we hope that you'll continue next year and come back, because we really want you to come back. And we hope that you tell your friends so that we can really continue this wonderful program that we've started this year.
I would like to say thank you so much for giving us part of your time, and that I know our students super appreciate it and they look forward to you coming.
If you are interested in becoming a Literacy Corps volunteer, please contact Jackie Rybkowski in the Department of Instruction at 734-419-2092.
Great future start right here.